all Twitter users in Nigeria as the federal government recently lifted the ban placed on Twitter after almost 7 months. Now, if you all can recall, this incident took place last year, June, after which a post tweeted by President Muhammadu Buhari was deleted by Twitter, which it deemed as inappropriate. Now, today on the streets of Lagos, we're asking Nigerians how this new development resonates with them. My name is Marianne. Welcome to Street Voices on TV Independent. Don't go anywhere as we bring to you different opinions right here from the streets of Lagos. Don't go anywhere. Keep watching. So recently, the federal government just lifted the ban on Twitter after over 6 months. Yeah, as a Twitter user, how does that make you feel? The ban and all, lifting the ban and all.
Okay, to be honest, it makes me feel some type of way because on the one hand, yes, they lifted the ban so we can tweet and all that. But now it's going to be more regulated unlike before. Before where you could just come online and just act maybe a public servant and just air your grievances. But now Twitter might kind of be like Facebook where there's all these restrictions, or they can say maybe your tweet is promoting hate or it's promoting violence or something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's okay that they lifted the ban, but we know it's all because of the election that's coming. I mean, 2023 is close. 2023 is close, so they are trying to get the youth to vote. Okay. So majorly, we know. Federal government, we see you. We know.
Okay. So don't you think, no. So don't you think the regulations, Twitter being regulated, might actually be a good thing? Because, most people come online and then they share some certain things which aren't appropriate. Don't you think this is actually a way forward?
Okay, on one hand, yes, it's good because it will curb some people's excesses. But on the other hand, I feel like they are stifling freedom of speech. Sure, yeah. Because while they are telling us, oh, you can't tweet about this particular thing, what if there's another angle to that tweet? So yes, on the one hand it's good, but on the other hand it's still not too good. I mean, we are in the 21st century. Why do you need to stifle what people say?
So lastly, how does Twitter affect the upcoming election? Because you mentioned something earlier and it was interesting. How does it come in hand in hand? How does it affect it?
Okay, it affects it in the sense that candidates for public positions can come online to tweet about their campaigns and all of that and say things that the youth is like access to information is much more easier for people who cannot attend rallies, who cannot attend all these their party meetings. We can see whatever it is they have to say, and it can sway the youth. They are able to come and keep telling us sweet things, and some gullible people might be forced to decamp to their side. So yeah, we know. They are trying to get our sympathy. That's why they lifted the ban. On the one hand, it's good, but so
all in all, we're happy I'm back in Nigeria. Yeah.
Yes.
I think, like I said earlier, like I was thinking earlier, TikTok has already taken over Twitter, and so I just feel for people that their livelihood is on Twitter. So because I think for a period of time they probably have lost jobs. Some jobs have been lost, and all some people that it's majorly Twitter that they use for their own PR, and it's not like there are jobs everywhere, but these people have been able to create jobs through Twitter. And that period of time, these guys are starved, man. So now you're not bringing it back. So like we were just saying, most likely they're bringing it back because of the whole election that's coming up again, because Twitter can be able to, you can also use to generate a lot of people, a lot of youths that will come out and start voting and all. So in general, I just think that the federal government just plays our head. The federal government plays our heads. So only the wise ones will know that they're just trying to use your head here.
Okay, but is it a bad thing for the federal government to have lifted the ban based on the upcoming elections? Would you say it's a bad thing, or would you say it's a win-win situation?
It's not a bad thing. It's not a win-win situation. The federal government is obviously lifting the ban because of election, and most likely, if another boy or another young guy or a girl go and tweet something again relative to NSAS again, or tweet something relating to protest again, don't worry, you are going back to ban. Okay, that's the fact. We are going back to ban again. Okay. So at a point, I was even scared maybe they'll start banning Facebook and the rest. Because the moment you start tweeting about, sometimes I literally tweet about some countries in NSAS, and I used to feel as if there are some DSS people back on my compound waiting to just pick me up. So you get, it's just crazy.
Okay. Okay, so recently the federal government just lifted the ban on Twitter. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel happy because majority of the Twitter user now, it has been an issue. It has been an issue so far on the federal government. Why will federal government ban Twitter and all of it? So it's a relieving statement from the federal government that they have relieved the ban, and Twitter itself is willing to go with the guideline that the federal government is trying to lay down. So it's a relief, especially on Nigerians so far. It's a relief on me and for every other Nigerians that use Twitter, that are Twitter user. It's a place, Twitter is life. Let me just put it that way. Like some people now, so many of their whatsoever they are doing has been on hold because of the Twitter ban. So now that the ban has been lifted, so there is joy in most of Nigerians' heart, especially my own heart. There is joy. So I pray the ban continue and it's being lifted finally so that we can go back to our way of life in Twitter.
I think it's the right coming back to the right direction because whatever reason why they made that decision, I think they would have sorted it out by now, and Nigerian youth will go back to what has been working for them. Twitter has been working for us, and changing the narrative back to what it used to be is like giving us an opportunity to continue from where we stopped, growing our sphere and improving our lives. So it's a good thing. They negotiated a turnaround. And I hope there wouldn't be a second time to lock it down again because the guideline we're yet to see. You understand? Had it been we know about the guideline, it would have been a lot easier.
Some are saying it means federal government lifting the ban means Twitter is going to be more regulated now. It wouldn't be as free as it used to be. Do you think that's the case?
Freedom is very important in any society. So whatever kinds of gauges freedom is not right. So if the federal government is going to gauge the freedom of the youth to express themselves, to meet with people, expand their horizon, I don't think it's right. But then, until when we see the limitations that have been inculcated recently, we can be able to know how to fast forward it or backtrack or change, take on other options. But for now, until when we see that,
So, personally, to you, what reasons do you think the federal government must have seen or must have overlooked, must have digested to have lifted the ban? Do you think it has anything to do with the upcoming election?
I wouldn't say, because Twitter has been, in quotes, a battleground for them. But to us, it's not like that. This is a place where we express how we feel about things. So if it's the reason of opening it is because of the forthcoming elections, so be it. It's also an avenue for us to express ourselves in the forthcoming elections. We'll do what is in our mind.
It's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win, yes. They do what is in their mind, we do what is in our minds.
Twitter is back, and we are so glad we can get back to communicating and hearing our different opinions, especially on Twitter. And to everybody at home, don't forget, we want to know what you think about this new development, why you think the federal government, what you think they must have thought about to have lifted the ban on Twitter, plus how this new development resonates with you. My name is Marianne. Thank you for sticking with us on TV Independent. Thank you.